Wait, who's calling? Hello?
Do a Green Hell VR review.
I'm already doing a review.
Do it faster.
No, I'm not.
If you don't do it right now, I'm gonna come to your
What?
house and then smack the shit out of you.
A survival game made from the ground up for VR was not existing properly until Song in the Smoke came around. Although that game brought survival aspects perfectly into VR, it was rather a small game. Now what if I told you that yesterday a game came out, which is the perfect VR remake of the flat screen game Green Hell, with absolutely all mechanics perfectly translated to VR. Let me introduce you to my review of Green Hell VR Quest Edition. I will structure this video in 3 parts. 1. The pros, 2. The cons, and 3. My first impression and review. I haven't played the game for too long to call it a definitive review yet, so I will solely review this out of my playtime with the game. Without any further ado, let's start. The second you are moved into the jungle scene, you can already tell that Green Hell VR is one of the best looking Quest 2 games to date. It brings the jungle from the flat screen game pretty well looking into the Quest 2. Of course, graphics mean nothing without good performance, which luckily Green Hell VR has got you mostly covered. The reason I say mostly is because the game lags sometimes when hitting things like trees, but also just stutters occasionally. To be fair, I was recording all the time and the performance suffered under that. The devs are already working on a fix though, which is a good sign. It uses the newly featured application Space Warp, which creates artificial frames for lost frames, which is really interesting. Let's move on to the crafting. By moving together a stone and a stick, you get an axe, which you can use to chop down trees, but you can also just chop them down with a flint if that's your style. The tree will then drop large and medium-sized sticks and sometimes even coconuts and leaves. You can hit the sticks with your axe or a stone to make them even smaller for a campfire, for example. You can eat coconuts to cure spider poison, I could be wrong though, and use the shell of the coconut as a ball for water or other drinks. With leaves and wood you can build a shelter, which you can use to save your game. The way you build it is the coolest thing ever. You have to ram the stick into the ground and hit it from above with something to make it stable. Then you fix those sticks together with a rope and put some leaves on top. Campfires are also pretty simple to do. You can just put some small and medium-sized sticks together and use a flammable mesh like banana leaves or bird nests and ignite it using flint and stone. Sitting next to a campfire with your shelter behind you while staring down to the lake is a very relaxing experience, you know, until you go insane or something. You can also put meat on a stick and cook it. That was so cool, not gonna lie. The body IK is also pretty good to my experience. Leeches often try to suck your blood and you have to manually remove them with your fingers. Gross. You can also apply bandages similar to Saints and Sinners, which I haven't done yet in this game because I am too good and never got bitten. And by that I mean I died as soon as I even got bitten. You have a walkie-talkie which also has some intuitive controls which were better in the PC version though. You also have Saints and Sinners like journal with all sorts of information of things you found out and crafting recipes. And by finding out, I mean finding out. You have no idea if a mushroom will benefit you or make you go insane. You really have to experiment with what does what. For example, I got bitten by a spider, died 3 times, then tried stuff like eating a coconut and eating coal, which made me vomit, but it cured the poison. Although the body IK is very good, the legs that were present in the PC VR version aren't there anymore. This is a shame because the legs were an interesting concept. I guess you would forget about them though, so it's understandable why they did that. The same can't be said about the crafting. The crafting table completely got removed. I still could be wrong though, maybe I wasn't paying attention. But when I played the PC VR demo, I had to craft bandages on the crafting table. Now I just have to pick up special leaves and they automatically turn into bandages. It's a small thing, maybe even a quality of life change, but it still needs to be addressed. The combat with the axe wasn't that great. You just hit your prey with your axe continuously until he dies. Green Hell VR is a very impressive remake. This game should seriously not even be able to run on this thing. It brings the mechanics successfully into VR. You can really see where the 2 years of development went with this one. It's easily a must-buy survival game you shouldn't miss out on. It has its flaws, but easily makes up for them. The devs are really supportive and listen to the community, which is a good start, especially in a time where devs don't care about the player base.